Sunday dinner at my parents' house had become a weekly exercise in humiliation. This week was no different. Another month, another loan request, Dad said, passing the roast chicken without looking at me. When does it end, Alex? I hadn't asked for a loan. I'd mentioned needing to hire 3 more engineers for our Series C push. Dad had interpreted this as begging. I'm not asking for money, I said calmly. I was just updating you on the company. The company, Mom repeated with that special tone she reserved for discussing my failures. 5 years, Alex. 5 years of throwing money into this startup, I supplied. It's called a startup. It's called irresponsible, Dad said. Your brother has a real job. Benefits. A pension plan with the state employee retirement fund. Guaranteed income for life after 30 years of service. My brother Kevin smiled from across the table. He was 2 years younger, worked as a civil engineer for the state transportation department, and had somehow become the family's success story despite making $68,000 a year. The pension is amazing, Kevin said. Fully funded. They just brought in a new investment director who's killing it. Returns are up 18% this year. See? Mom gestured at Kevin like he was evidence in a trial. That's stability. That's planning for the future. Not throwing money at some website that doesn't make profit. We're profitable, I said quietly. Dad laughed, sharp and bitter. Profitable? With what, $100 in the bank? Alex, you're 32. You should have a retirement account. Health insurance that isn't marketplace garbage. A car that's not 10 years old. I have health insurance, I said. And my car runs fine. You know what I mean, Dad said. You're living like a college student while your company burns through cash. When are you going to accept that this isn't working? It is working, I said. We did $45 million in revenue last year. We're on track for $80 million this year. Silence. Then Mom's sad smile. Honey, you don't have to make up numbers, she said gently. We love you anyway. We just want you to be realistic. I'm not making up. What's the company called again? Kevin asked, cutting me off. I always forget. Health Track Analytics, I said. Right. The medical data thing. Very niche. We provide predictive analytics for hospital systems, I said. Machine learning models that forecast patient admissions, optimize staffing, reduce wait times. Sounds complicated, Mom said. Too complicated to make real money. My phone buzzed. Text from my CFO Diane. Thompson confirmed for dinner. 7 p.m. at Marcello's. This is huge. Gerald Thompson. Managing Director of the State Employees Retirement Fund. One of the largest pension funds in the region, with $47 billion in assets under management. And he was meeting me for dinner in 2 hours to discuss leading our Series C investment round. Who's texting you during family dinner? Dad asked disapprovingly. Work, I said. It's Sunday, Mom said. Even pretend companies should take Sunday off. I stood up, pushing my chair back. I need to go. I have a business dinner. A business dinner, Dad repeated skeptically. On Sunday night. Let me guess. Pizza with your developer friends. Something like that, I said. Kevin grinned. At least developers are cheap dates. I grabbed my coat and left before I said something I'd regret. Build up. Marcello's was the kind of restaurant where venture capitalists closed deals and executives celebrated exits. I'd been there twice before. Once with our lead Series A investor, once with our Series B lead. Tonight was bigger. Gerald Thompson arrived exactly on time. Silver-haired, expensive suit, the bearing of someone who controlled billions of dollars. Diane was already there, sitting at our reserved table looking nervous. Mr. Thompson, I said, shaking his hand. Thank you for meeting with us. Gerald, please, he said. I've been looking forward to this. Your Q4 numbers were impressive. We ordered, made small talk, then got down to business. Our fund has been watching Health Track for 18 months, Gerald said. Initially we were skeptical. Healthcare analytics is crowded. But your growth metrics are exceptional. 45 million to 80 million in 12 months. That's a 78% year-over-year increase. We're solving a real problem, I said. Hospitals waste billions on inefficient staffing. Our models cut labor costs by 20 to 30% while improving patient outcomes. We've done our diligence, Gerald said. Talk to your clients. Cleveland Medical Center says you saved them $8 million last year. Boston General says your system predicted their flu season surge within 3% accuracy. Diane jumped in. We're raising $400 million for Series C. Valuation at $1.2 billion pre-money. The capital will fund expansion into European markets and development of our surgical scheduling optimization module. Gerald nodded. Our investment committee approved the deal this morning. The State Employees Retirement Fund is prepared to lead your Series C with a $400 million investment at the proposed valuation. I felt my heart rate spike. $400 million. From one of the most conservative institutional investors in the country. That would make you our largest shareholder, Diane said carefully. Yes, Gerald agreed. We'd want 2 board seats. Standard institutional investor rights. But we're long-term partners. We don't flip investments. When we back a company, we're committed for the duration. The duration being? I asked. IPO or acquisition, Gerald said. We think you're on track for public markets within 3 years. Projected valuation at IPO around $5 billion, based on comparable healthcare tech exits. $5 billion. My personal stake would be worth around $1.8 billion at that valuation. We'll need to meet your executive team, Gerald continued. See your offices. Do final technical diligence. But assuming everything checks out, we're ready to close in 60 days. That works for our timeline, I said, somehow keeping my voice steady. One question, Gerald said. The background check flagged something interesting. Your father is a member of our pension fund. Thomas Bennett, retired union electrician. 28 years of service. My stomach dropped. Yes, that's my father. Small world, Gerald smiled. He'll benefit nicely from this investment. If HealthTrack performs as projected, our fund's returns will boost pension payouts across the board. He doesn't know, I said quietly, about the company's success. About any of this. Gerald raised an eyebrow. He doesn't know his daughter built a unicorn? He thinks I'm wasting money on a failing startup, I said. He's been telling me to get a real job for 5 years. Gerald laughed, genuinely amused. Well, this will be an interesting conversation when he finds out his retirement fund just bet $400 million on your failing startup. Diane grinned. That's one way to prove a point. We spent another hour discussing terms, timelines, and transition planning. When we left the restaurant, I had a term sheet for the largest investment round in HealthTrack's history. And my father's retirement fund was now my company's majority shareholder. The press release went out Tuesday morning. State Employees Retirement Fund leads $400 million Series C for HealthTrack Analytics, healthcare predictive tech unicorn valued at $1.6 billion. Every major business publication picked it up. Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, Forbes, TechCrunch. My phone started ringing at 8 a.m. First call, Kevin. Alex, what the hell? Dad just called me screaming. Something about his pension fund. They invested in my company, I said. Your company? The medical data thing? How much did they invest? $400 million. Silence. Then, that's not funny. I'm not joking. It's in the Wall Street Journal. Front page of the business section. I heard typing. Kevin looking it up. Then a choked sound. Holy shit. This is real. Your company is worth. It says $1.6 billion. Post-money valuation, yes. Mom and Dad are losing their minds, Kevin said. They think it's a mistake. They think someone with the same name as you. It's me, I said. I founded HealthTrack 5 years ago. We've been profitable for 3 years. Last year we did $45 million in revenue, just like I told them at Sunday dinner. They didn't believe you. I know. Second call, Mom. Alexandra Bennett, you tell me right now what's happening. Your father got a letter from his pension fund about a major investment, and someone at his union hall said it's your company, but that can't be right because your company is just a small startup. It's not a small startup, Mom, I said. It never was. HealthTrack has 247 employees. We serve 340 hospital systems across North America. We're one of the fastest growing healthcare technology companies in the country. But you said, you were always asking for advice, talking about struggles. I was sharing updates, I corrected. You interpreted them as failures. I stopped correcting you after the first year. Third call, Dad. I want an explanation. Now. The state employees' retirement fund invested $400 million in HealthTrack Analytics, I said calmly. The company I founded. The one you've been calling Wasteful for 5 years. Your pension fund now owns approximately 25% of it. That's impossible, Dad said. You can't run a billion-dollar company. You don't have the experience. I have a PhD in biostatistics from MIT, I said. I spent 3 years building predictive models at Johns Hopkins. I saw a market opportunity and built a solution. It worked. Why didn't you tell us? Dad's voice cracked. I tried, I said. Every Sunday dinner. Every phone call. You told me I was wasting money making up numbers, living irresponsibly. Eventually I stopped trying to convince you. Fourth call, Gerald Thompson. Alex, congratulations on the press coverage. Very positive response from the market. I wanted to give you a heads up. We're hosting an investor meeting next month. Updating pension fund members on major investments. Your father will be invited. He'll be there, I said. Good, Gerald said. He should hear directly from you why we bet $400 million on HealthTrack. Resolution. The investor meeting was held at the pension fund's downtown headquarters. 200 pension fund members packed into the auditorium, retired teachers, electricians, civil servants. People who'd worked for 30 years and counted on their retirement fund to support them. My parents sat in the third row. Kevin beside them. All three looked uncomfortable. Gerald Thompson took the stage. Thank you all for coming, he said. As you know from our quarterly reports, the fund has performed exceptionally well this year. 22% returns, significantly above our benchmark. A large part of that success comes from our venture investments, strategic bets on high-growth companies. The screen behind him lit up with the HealthTrack logo. Our largest recent investment is HealthTrack Analytics. $400 million at a $1.2 billion pre-money valuation. This represents approximately 1% of our total fund assets. A significant but measured position in a company we believe will generate exceptional returns. He clicked to the next slide. Revenue projections. Growth charts. Client testimonials from major hospital systems. HealthTrack's technology is transforming hospital operations. Their predictive analytics reduce costs, improve patient outcomes and solve real problems in healthcare delivery. We project this investment will return 5 to 7 times our capital over the next 4 years. Mom gripped Dad's arm. I'd like to introduce you to HealthTrack's founder and CEO, Gerald said. She'll explain the technology and answer your questions. Please welcome Dr. Alexandra Bennett. I walked onto the stage to polite applause. From the podium I could see my father's face clearly. Still processing. Thank you, Gerald, I said. 5 years ago I left my position at Johns Hopkins to start HealthTrack. I saw hospitals struggling with unpredictable patient volumes, inefficient staffing and preventable bottlenecks. I built machine learning models to solve these problems. I clicked through slides. Technical details made accessible. Client case studies. Financial projections. Today HealthTrack serves 340 hospitals. We've helped them save over $2 billion in operational costs while improving patient care. We're profitable, growing rapidly and expanding internationally. The state employees' retirement fund's investment will accelerate that growth. A hand went up in the audience. An older man, probably a retired teacher. How do we know this investment is safe? He asked. Tech companies fail all the time. Valid concern, I said. But HealthTrack isn't a speculative bet. We have real revenue, real clients, real profits. We're not burning cash hoping for an exit. We're building sustainable infrastructure for healthcare operations. The fund's diligence team spent 6 months verifying everything I'm telling you. Another question. What happens to our investment if hospitals stop using your software? Our retention rate is 97%, I said. Once hospitals implement HealthTrack, they become dependent on it. Our software manages their entire operational workflow. Switching would cost millions and take years. We're infrastructure, not a disposable app. Questions continued for 30 minutes. I answered each one precisely, professionally. When it ended, Gerald thanked me. People applauded, more enthusiastically this time. My parents didn't move from their seats. I walked down from the stage. Stood in front of them. "Hi, Dad," I said. You actually built all this?" he asked quietly. "Yes. The numbers you told us at dinner. Those were real. Every single one." Mom was crying. "Why didn't you make us understand?" "I tried to make you listen," I said. "There's a difference." Kevin cleared his throat. "Alex, I'm sorry. We all treated you like you were failing when you were actually building something that will fund your parents' retirement," I finished. "If our projections hold, Dad's pension payments will increase by approximately 18% over the next 5 years because of the fund's investment in my company." Dad looked like he'd been punched. "Your company is funding my retirement?" "Partially," I said. "The pension fund has diverse holdings. But yes, I'm now financially responsible for ensuring you have a comfortable retirement." "Ironic, isn't it?" "Alex, I don't know what to say," Dad whispered. "You could start with 'I was wrong,'" I suggested. "I was wrong," Dad said immediately. "About everything. About your company, your choices, your abilities. I was completely, totally wrong." "We both were," Mom added. "We dismissed you for 5 years. We compared you to Kevin's stable job when you were building something extraordinary." "Kevin's job is fine," I said. "There's nothing wrong with stability. But you decided my path was worthless because it didn't look like his. That was your choice. Can we fix this?" Mom asked. "Can we start over?" I thought about it. 5 years of Sunday dinners. 5 years of being told I was wasting money, making poor choices, living irresponsibly. "Maybe," I said. "But not today. Today I have a board meeting. The State Employees Retirement Fund wants quarterly updates on European expansion." I walked away before they could respond. 3 months later. Dad called. I answered on the 4th ring. "Alex, I need to tell you something," he said. "I got my pension statement. The returns this quarter. Because of your company, my monthly payment is going up by $340. That's real money. That's groceries, gas, the things that matter." "Good," I said. "I also need to apologize," Dad continued. "Really apologize. Not just for not believing in you, but for actively undermining you. For making you feel like you were failing when you were succeeding." "Hey," I said. "Is there any way? Can we have dinner? Not Sunday dinner with everyone. Just you and me. I want to understand what you built. Really understand it." I hesitated. Then, "Saturday. 6 p.m. There's a good Italian place near my office." "Your office," Dad said. "I'd like to see that too." "It's 40,000 square feet," I said. 3 floors. 247 employees. Conference rooms, development labs, a full cafeteria. It's impressive if you're interested." "I'm interested," Dad said. "I should have been interested 5 years ago." We had dinner that Saturday. Dad asked questions. Real questions, detailed questions about technology and strategy and growth. He listened to the answers. It didn't fix 5 years of damage. It didn't erase the Sunday dinners where he'd mocked my choices. But it was a start. Mom and I still haven't really talked. Kevin texts occasionally, awkward messages about being proud. Last week, HealthTrack announced our European expansion. 40 new hospital contracts. Projected $200 million in additional revenue. The pension fund's investment is already up 32%. Dad's retirement is secure. His daughter's Wasteful startup made sure of it. That's not revenge. That's just returns on investment.